welcome back to EastEnders Weekly, your weekly podcast that's all about Jane McDonald cruising down under.
Yay! She's back after her
BAFTA award-winning Jane McDonald.
BAFTA award was given to her. That's right. I love her show so much. The best part for me is the bit when she does her little song at the end.
I know, I thought it was going to be a Kylie song because she was in Australia.
Well, no, because I reminded you that she's done Kylie once already. And she did, I don't know what the band are called, but she did the one with the Vegemite sandwich line in it. But she shouted the second verse, so I was bitterly disappointed by her.
She shouts most verses.
Her vocals.
We're not a podcast about Jane McDonald cruising, sadly, although that could be a possibility.
In the future.
We could win a BAFTA. We are all about EastEnders, the BBC soap.
I'm Alex, by the way.
You are, apparently. And I am Ben, the host. And we are going to be discussing the episodes from the 31st of December 2018 to the 4th of January 2019.
Oh, you forgot there was a new year. Happy New Year, by the way. And Happy
Yeah.
New Year to all our listeners as well. Hope 2019 treated you well. Hope not many sore heads were out there.
You sound like you've got a sore head at the moment.
I've caught, I think, what you had last week. My throat has decided to seize and stop working.
Good.
Yeah, so
And that's our show, so we'll see you next week. No, we've got loads to cover, actually. So there's lots of quite good, actually, this week. Did you enjoy it? The New Year's week?
yeah, it was good. The best was the double episode on Thursday. The rest of the week...
Fridays was good, too.
Yeah, Fridays was good. Yeah, suspense. So the end of the week. I suppose you expect Thursdays and Fridays to be the best, but the double episode was good because it left on a really good cliffhanger, and then you had Celebrity Mastermind in between.
Yeah, but no, I actually think it was better than Christmas. That's not normal. New Year's better than Christmas.
That's a bold claim.
Is it?
It was better all round, as in the week was better. But I think if you were going to go for episode, the best episode is still Christmas Day for me.
No, I disagree.
Well, then that's
why we're here.
That's exactly it.
So yeah, we're going to try and get through all the topics of this week's storyline. So we're going to start off with one of the only happy ones this week.
Well, it wasn't that happy. It ended...
It's quite happy.
Yeah, but it didn't... Well, it ended on a happy tone, I suppose. But
and I can finally talk about Halfway's hat.
Yes, you've been waiting.
So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the Whitney and Halfway mini storyline they had this week, where we were promised in the lead up to the New Year storylines that there'll be a pregnancy storyline. And it didn't disappoint because there was one.
There was finally one. So we got to see that picture of the pregnancy test, finally, that they've leaked all over the internet.
Although it said pregnant on the leaked photos, but you didn't actually see a pregnancy test on this storyline.
Oh, that's a good point.
Weird.
That's a good point. See, maybe we're linking it up to the wrong story.
Everyone thought it was Sharon. Could still be Sharon.
There's still hope for Sharon to be pregnant with the baby Keanu.
So yeah, we had on New Year's Eve, before the wedding, Whitney wasn't drinking in the pub. That was the first sign.
She also wasn't recognising the Brotherhood of Man songs that were being shouted at her by Shirley and Tina.
And that was a really weird story. I didn't get, it was just a bit of a silly
I think it was
story.
just filler.
Yeah. Shirley filler. That's what she does now.
It was good though, because Shirley was like singing these songs and Whitney was like, I don't know what they are. And Shirley got genuinely
really
angry.
angry.
Yes, you do!
So Whitney was one day late. So she automatically thought she was pregnant.
Like you do. I think
lots of people complained about that online.
All right.
They tweeted to us saying she's only one day late. She shouldn't think she's pregnant.
I think that's Whitney's character though. I think that Whitney wants a baby. And because she says that there was that one time then we didn't use protection by accident. And I think Halfway was still a little bit like, was there? Was there that time?
Halfway's just happy to finally lose his virginity, remember? This year was the year.
Last year.
Well, yeah, last year. So that was interesting. But Halfway, he kind of wasn't over the moon.
No.
Over the Alfie moon.
No.
But he wasn't, like, discouraging the idea. But obviously Whitney grasped on the negative from... what he was giving off.
I mean, when she revealed it, he wasn't ecstatic. He wasn't his normal kind of
shocked.
happy
But that's
self.
fair, really.
I think that's what it was. He was taken aback, and it kind of surprised him that she walked in and said, "Oh, by the way, I think I'm pregnant. Can you get me a pregnancy test, please?"
At least she told him straight away. It wasn't like a story that went on for 3 weeks. Like, should I tell him? He's not going to accept it.
And it was nice that the chemist was open on New Year's Day when she did the test. Unless she had some just, kept by. But we know she didn't, because Halfway went to get her the test and went to the cafe to think about it for a little bit. And Whitney took this as an alarm that he wasn't that keen on the idea of having little baby hats
And he was very distracted. Ever since she told him, he was distracted and kept making excuses about prawns and cooking and stuff to try and like get out.
Yeah.
And that was worrying Whitney. But she followed him out of the church because Mel was late for some reason.
Yes, for her own wedding.
And he was there saying hello to a baby and being all a good potential dad.
Yeah, he seemed to want a child all of a sudden. It did seem to be a bit light and shade.
Well, it is a bit halfway, isn't it? It takes a while to
settle
get going,
in.
doesn't it?
Yeah, well, as in his virginity. It does take him a while.
Well, that was also really odd, where Halfway was working in Walford East. That was sudden.
Yeah, that took me by surprise, because he was working in Walford East, but he was also working in the pub
Vic.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we know he has a catering
yes, that's what he did in the army.
He did it in the army. So he's using his skills. It's nice to actually see that happening.
I did watch it back, and I think Whitney, there was like half a line where Halfway said, "Oh, Ian's paying me double just to cover." So I don't think he actually works there.
I see.
But yeah, when I first saw him in there and Kat just like started talking to him, it's like, what? That's weird. But no, he was just doing cover for
Kat was investigating for Ian, wasn't she? She was looking
I don't
for
want to
Ian.
talk about Kat. I want to talk about Kat and the Slaters as little as possible this week because it's just
tiring, isn't it? It's become a bit of a strain.
I rewatched their scenes just now because I thought I'm watching them, but they're not really
settling
going in.
No,
like words are coming out of their mouths, but nothing's really going in for me. So
but it moved you enough to do a meme this week with Nana Moo.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Check it out on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram.
But yeah, Whitney and Halfway sort of come to the realization in between a tree outside the church,
like you do, an epiphany next to a tree.
that maybe they should start trying for a baby.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
Not just be pregnant accidentally. Actually, purposely try for a child.
And also, stop. I haven't mentioned Halfway wore his hat to the wedding.
Well, I was wondering when this was going to come
I've been
up.
going on about this for 8 weeks.
Yes, we were wondering whether he was going to wear his hat at the wedding.
I'd seen spoiler pictures,
and you thought,
and I saw he had a woolly hat on at the wedding.
I mean, the only respectful thing now he could do is to not wear his hat at a funeral, or
Dr. Leg's funeral.
Dr. Leg's funeral.
We're to see.
That's the only thing now. If he wears his hat, that's disrespectful. Was he wearing the hat in the kitchen? Because surely.
Yep. The only time he didn't have it off was in the Vic kitchen.
Well, that's just hygiene 101. That is. He shouldn't be wearing a.
He could have worn
hat.
like a little top hat or something. Or bought one. He could have bought one from Shrimpy's Stool.
One of those you get from Claire's Accessories.
No, Shrimpy's. There's no Claire's Accessories. There's only Shrimpy's Stool for hats. But he could have bought like a nice smart hat if he wanted to wear a hat so badly.
Shrimpy's Accessories. I mean, we could make him a little hat in an Alice band. He'd look lovely. We could have a little feather pop.
They make him wear a hat to make him look silly and ugly because it pushes his ears outwards, and for some reason Halfway's ears have to pop out because he's
to make him look a bit geeky and silly.
Yeah.
I don't mind his hat actually. I think it's quite charming. I wear a hat a lot.
You know, I feel sorry for the actor because they're filming these bits in the middle of summer, and you can tell he's really hot. Like he looks moist.
He looks moist,
and he's got a big woolly jumper and a big woolly hat on.
I'm sure he's not that warm.
He is, I can tell.
Why didn't you ask him? Send him a direct
I
tweet.
might. Tony Clay.
Yeah. Watch out, Tony Clay. You're going to have your stalker
Tamsin
coming.
Athwaite's off my Twitter now. I'm bored of her. She keeps liking all my things.
Oh, no, she's lovely. We love Tamsin. Keep saying hello to us.
I just got a few comments. One was, I got one from Matt Cherry who said, "What's with Halfway wearing his hat at the wedding?" But I've already covered that.
I'm glad Matt Cherry has also spotted it too. And it's irritating him as well. I mean, this really is a small problem that shouldn't irritate you as much as it does. I mean,
he looks so much better without the hat on. That's the problem.
Oh, so it's a vanity thing. It's not that
Both.
He's annoying. So it is. So he's annoying you for wearing that.
Stephen Patterson says Halfway is like a modern Lofty. Although he's got Wixky's good looks. Simon Wicks.
Wixies, yeah.
He's got so much potential as a character. Well, apart from that hat.
I like the hat. I think it's part of his charm and his character. I think the hat is his. If you were to put a picture of a hat, if you were playing an EastEnders game, which is, actually this is a good game. If I was going to show you a hat, who's the first character that pops into your head? Halfway. So the actor
Shrimpy.
Tony. That's true. Okay, a woolly hat, then it'll be Halfway. So if Tony Clay would be pleased to know that he's going to be associated forever as a hat-wearing, lofty, likey person. I mean, Whitney.
They should have made Lofty his dad.
I wish that I agree with you on that, but they can't do that now. That's
rewriting.
No, look when they try to rewrite History of Cat and how bad that.
Dr. Leg's wedding. Lofty will see Halfway, Say that's my long lost son who I didn't know about.
Or maybe he doesn't know about him.
Mm.
And you'd be like, oh, he looks familiar.
Looks like me.
It looks like, yeah.
Got the same prescription. But no, that was a nice happy storyline this for the new year. So Whitney and Halfway together.
Yes.
Going forward, gonna start a family. I'm assuming they'll move out on their own.
Maybe they
with Tiff, maybe.
Maybe they could. Although they can't rent the same flat that Lee and Whitney had because
that's where Ruby
is. They could rent the one above.
Although questionable whether Ruby's staying because I've seen the actress is on a lot of holidays at the moment. A lot of holidays.
Again, is this fact or is this just you willing it?
Well, it's fact. She's on lots of holidays.
Yeah, but maybe she's having a break, ready for a long schedule of filming.
Well, Kate Oates did say in her Ask Kate Oates that they have a storyline for Ruby and they're not forgetting Jolly Allen's her dad.
Yeah,
so that goes back to our predictions from ages ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's good because that's what we wanted Ruby to come in and be, more kind of like like her father, like her dad.
Yeah.
Not that she's particularly weak, but like just something of interest.
We will see.
Long story arc because there's a story later on where we had our old character back of the one we remembered when they left and they came back and
she was fighting.
Yeah, fighting.
But before that, we've got to touch upon the Carters.
Well, don't touch upon a certain part of Mr. Mick Carter.
And it's a bit sore.
Very sore.
Yeah, so there's more marriage issues with the Carters, which I kind of just wanted a bit of a break from their marriage issues, like to the new year.
Yeah, Mick's finding it a bit difficult to be affectionate with Linda because
and Linda's like got a strop on.
Linda's got a strop on because she ordered Elton John.
Leave it.
No, she was more angry at the fact that the Elton John tribute, and also that she thought Mick had forgotten their anniversary.
Yeah, but like he's just got out of prison. You've just done all this stuff to get him out of prison. Just be happy over New Year, and then bring us some drama next year.
Yeah, but I think bring us more drama next year. I think she's just upset that Mick doesn't seem to be the same Mick.
Yeah, that's fine, but I would have rather they just showed it to us next year. Like, just have a little 5 minutes of happiness between those two.
I think they have, though. Now that Mick has decided that, or realised that deep fat frying something with just a dressing gown on isn't the brightest of ideas, I think that kind of connected them a little bit more.
It's a shame we didn't see the Carters on Christmas Day, because where's Johnny? Where's Nancy? No cards from them.
Well,
where's Lee?
Again, you're upset because they said that they were bringing back an old character to reunite over Christmas, and it wasn't any Carter family. You hoped it was going to be a Carter for Christmas, and it wasn't.
No Aunt Babe. She didn't get an invite.
No. She's busy.
So yeah, that was really, the Carters were a bit like that. They were just hosting the Vic. He was burning his little sausage.
Not purposely. They tried to make this known. It wasn't some kind of fetish that.
Well, was it something he did so he couldn't perform? So he thought. Oh.
No, I don't think so. Because he looked
too precious.
I mean, well, not just that. Would you purposely burn your member in order to stop you being close to your partner? No, I don't know, Ben. Would you?
He's in a strange place, isn't he? Stuart's across the road.
Yeah, but
that's putting him off his game.
Yeah, his rhythm. He's just upset because he thinks there's more that's going on between him, Stuart, and Linda, and Stuart keeps dropping the hints. I mean, the biggest question mark is that we were meant to believe that Mick had finally got rid of Stuart, and Stuart hasn't gone. I mean, he's obviously tried everything in his power to scare Stuart away from the square. And that everything that he gave wasn't good enough.
Didn't do much.
So that's obviously going to make
him a bit more crazy, if anything.
Well, yeah, well, he's moved his target to someone else for a little while, so he's temporarily winding someone else up.
He's crossing a line here with me, Stuart. He was fine playing torture on Tina. He was fine murdering Dylan Box.
Yeah, it's all fine. Well, we don't know Dylan's murdered.
Okay, but it's fine setting Mick in prison, and it's fine trying to ruin Linda. But, Dr. Leg.
As soon as you start on Dr. Leg,
it's just unnecessary.
We've got problems.
He's a dying man. He's an original character. He's innocent. He's never done anything really wrong in his 35 years on the square.
I mean, he's had a few malpractices.
Yeah, but not like playing torturer or murdering.
Not that you know.
No.
Can you imagine Dr. Leg in his car off to Islington playing his banging music?
It's like, are they just trying to up Stuart into another level of like villain by doing this?
Oh yeah,
thing, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're taking.
Really...
Well, as you said, they're taking a frail,
helpless
old man who can't do anything.
And he's
about
not even
it.
done anything really. He's not done anything wrong to Stuart. Why is Stuart suddenly not want him around?
You say that, but Dr. Leg has started to show signs that he doesn't trust Stuart.
Yeah, but he gained his trust, and then Stuart did that horrible thing to him.
Well, no, only after Stuart was dancing with Dot. And Stuart was quite confident that Dot is basically on his side after all the praise that she'd given Dr. Legg, and he'd heard through the door, and he looked over at Dr. Legg, and Dr. Legg started shaking his head. So that upset Stuart. So that's why Stuart then did his evil deed.
It was really mean.
It was
such
super
a little
mean.
thing.
It's a psychological. It's a really psychological push, isn't it? So he kept tiptoeing around it. Basically, what he did at the beginning of the last episode, Friday's episode, Dr. Legg was showing Dot a picture of his wife, like one of the only pictures he has left.
The only one left, yeah.
And Stuart returned which is in his wallet, and Stuart returned his wallet without the photo inside of it. And then he said a really awesome line as well. I mean, Stuart is horrible, but like his lines are just, he looks over at the doctor and goes, "Night night, Doc," and then just goes this little grin and then skulks off out into the hallway.
You know what we need at Dr. Legg's funeral? We know Punk Mary's there. Hot-tempered Punk Mary.
Well, we've already discussed this last week.
She's going to sort him out.
Do you reckon Punk Mary's going to be the one to sort? But it'd be too late by then because Dr. Legg.
Yeah, but she can still take her revenge. He'll be at the funeral. He'll stand next to Punk Mary. Stuart will, and he'll mention something how he took the photo. She'll be like, "To the photo." She'll like push him into the
into the grave.
Into the grave, yeah.
Or she'll.
We know how hot-tempered she is.
She is, but her tactics are a lot more kind of torture, like psychological warfare. So she like gets people to phone people up. She orders cabs which aren't meant to be ordered.
Yeah, wow.
She gets Chinese takeaways delivered to their
a bit like Stuart. That's what he did to the cars.
So maybe Punk Mary and Stuart are too alike that they'd be so alike that they might start a relationship between them.
No, they'll fight. They'll hate each other.
Yeah, but they might love to hate each other. This could be a whole new kindling on the square, Stuart and Punk Mary. She needs the loving. She needs the money.
Well, I have high hopes for Punk Mary to sort Stuart out. Can you imagine if that's the end of Stuart's storyline? Punk Mary sorts him out.
I'd like that. This is all theory up in pie in the sky.
I can't wait to see their return because I know it's only like 1 or 2 episodes. So I wonder how much character development or storyline they'll both get. Or if it'll just be they'll just appear and go.
Yeah, I hope they do have a bit of a background story when they come back. There's a few people throwing out that Punk Mary... Stop saying Punk Mary.
Punk Mary.
And
Mary the Punk.
Mary the Punk and Lofty are actually in a relationship, hence why it's them two coming back. So...
Not sure how I feel about that.
Well, would Stuart...
They had a baby that got taken away from them called Callum Highway.
Yeah. Yes. The welfare system took it away because she kept leaving him on his own in a cot.
Right, before we give too many clues about old EastEnders away, because I don't want things to be spoiled for my next special section that I've got planned, and I've got quite a special quiz, so I want everyone to join in who's listening.
Get your pen and paper ready and mark down 1 to 20 down the side in the margin because it's time for the
secret quiz.
Oh, I'm giving a good build up then.
No, you just have to wait. Hello and welcome to Ben's big fat quiz of the square. Yeah.
No need to flatter yourself, Ben.
I have come across EastEnders cast cards, who we keep mentioning. He sent us this from an annual from 1985, EastEnders annual.
Okay.
So what we're doing, I'm going to host a quiz for you to try and answer the questions.
From what? From a 1985 EastEnders
quiz,
annual?
Yes. So at the end of the first year of EastEnders, so you have to think about just the first year.
Okay.
So we've got 40 questions to go through, and they're all multiple choice.
Right, and you're not going to give the answers, or how is it?
No, well, I'm going to go through the first 20 for this part, and then the 20 later in the episode.
Right.
So everyone can play along at home if they want.
Oh, okay.
It's like Test the Nation.
So they need to beat my score?
Yeah.
I've got a funny feeling a lot of people will.
I don't know. So, right, so we're going to go through the first 20 now. Okay. So pens that are ready, everyone.
Right,
Pen and paper.
Just writing all the numbers down with a little circle next to the...
Right, so are you ready?
I feel like I'm at school. I don't like this.
I just want to say the photo on the actual quiz. I'm just going to show you who it is quickly.
Oh, Debbie!
It's Andy O'Brien.
Oh.
He's the sex kitten of the 1985.
Well, he looks like he'd done the quiz himself by that pose. He's got his hand on his forehead, looking a bit dishevelled, a bit angry.
Right, so question 1.
Right, ready.
Who tussled with the drag artist in the Queen Vic? Was it A. Den, B. Arthur, C. Dot Cotton, or D. Pete Bill? Where was Andy O'Brien born? Was it A. Glasgow, B. Edinburgh, C. Isle of Arran, Carlisle. D. Carlisle, sorry, yes.
I'm trying to think of the funeral. Where did Debbie go?
Where's his accent from?
Well, it's Scottish.
Yes, but which region?
Oh, don't start that.
Right, you're going to have to answer. I'm moving on now.
I'm going to guess one. I reckon it'd be...
Don't say it.
I can't remember what they were.
Right.
There you go.
Number 3.
Good.
Who lives at 45 Albert Square? This is tricky. A. The Carpenters. Hit me. B. The Fowlers. I can't do an impression of a Fowler.
Well, just put your
I'll
head...
put my hand on my cheek, like Pauline. C. The Watts.
The what? Oh no, okay.
All right, darling.
Yeah.
D. Dr. Legg. Hello, Dot.
Oh, Dot.
Right.
Got it.
Number 4. What is Ethel's surname?
Oh, I know.
A. Skinner. B. Wilson. C. Shaw. Or D. Hills.
Done it.
5. What were the names of Debbie's kittens?
There's only one of them now.
A. Starsky and Hutch. B. Little and Large. C. Pinky and Perky. Or D. Cagney and Lacey.
Okay, I'm good. Just for any American listeners out there, Little and Large were a comedy duo in the UK, quite prominent in the 80s. Just, help them along.
I think we're not giving them the answers here. Right, number 6. What was the name of the knitting firm set up by Lofty, Ian and Calvin?
Oh, right.
Was it A. Albert Entrepreneurs? B. Youth Unlimited? C. East End Fashions? Or D. Loftenium? 7. Who lent the knitting machine to them? Was it A. Hannah Carpenter? Was it B?
Hey.
That's Deb. That's Cassie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hannah's the posh one. The posh mum.
The mum. The one who makes those really great facial expressions.
B. Debbie. C. Kathy. D. Pauline. Although it says Kath here, not Kathy, but
wow.
I don't accept Kath.
Well, Pete Bill wrote the quiz, didn't he?
Like Kath.
I'm like Kathy.
Number 8.
Right.
One of the square's residents is a would-be clairvoyant. Who is it? Is it A. Ethel? B. Lou? C. Dot? D. Ian?
They almost got caught out as well by the police.
Number 9. Who pestered Debbie with anonymous phone calls?
It's bringing back so many happy memories. It's only
so
like
funny, that's
3 months ago, yeah.
Right. A. It's 34 years ago.
Sorry, yes.
A. Ali. B. Saeed. C. Kelvin. Or D. Tony? Number 10. Who offered to be the business advisor to Lofty & Co. in their knitting enterprise? Was it A. Den? B. Pete? C. Simon? Or D. Debbie?
The business advisor.
Yes.
Okay. That makes a lot of difference. It was between 2, but now I know the answer.
Number 11. What is the name of Dot Cotton's husband? Is it A. Alfred? B. Jimmy? C. Willie? Or D. Charlie? Number 12.
Wrong 'un.
Where did Michelle and Lou go for a holiday?
I know it's a place Lou loves.
Is it A. Southend? B. Margate? C. Ramsgate? Or D. Clacton?
Now I'm being cocky.
There's a T-shirt, isn't there, that
Yeah.
she wore? You have to think what T-shirt she brought home with her, Michelle.
Because I said I
had
wanted
a symbol on it.
when it said I love and then
Yeah.
the place it was because
What
I
was
wanted
it?
that T-shirt.
I've heard all those names mentioned in 85.
No, I know, so have I.
Right, number
Oh
13.
no, okay.
Do you want to go through 12 again?
No, you're right.
13. What colours are worn by Walford Town, the Wallies? Is it A. Red and white? B. Claret and blue? C. Black and white? Or D. Blue and white?
I mean, that ties in with the whole knitting story. There's been about three. That was the big story of 85. 3 stories from the knitting.
Right, number 14. In the Walford Carnival, who played Black Death? Was it A. Sharon? B. Mary? C. Ethel? Or D. Debbie?
Okay, I think I know. Although that's not obvious for me, but I think I know.
Right, 15. What is Lofty's real Christian name? Is it A. George? B. Gary, C. David, D. Tony. 16. Who questioned Nick about the death of Reg Cox? A. D.S. Quick, B. D.S. Rich, C. D.C. Evans, or D. W.P.C. Alison Howard. That's really complicated.
A lot of letters, isn't it? You'll never get a job on Blockbusters. I think it's this one, but I don't know if it's too
There's
early.
been 2 policemen, haven't there?
Well, and the female one, the WPC.
Oh, yeah.
She likes to go...
The blonde one.
Yeah, she likes to go to the cafe and nose around.
Right, 17. Who stole cash from the Queen Vic? Was it A. Lofty, B. Wixie, C. Kath, or Kathy, or D. Sharon?
I know this person stole Ethel's wage
Ooh.
from the pint glass, remember? She said, "Oh, I don't intrude."
Right, 16.
18.
18. 18. What was the name of the male stripper who appeared at the Queen Vic? Was it A. Fancy Freddy, B. Fabulous Frankie, C. Fearless Freddy, or D. Fantastic Frankie?
Oh, God, that's a difficult one. I'm just going to guess. I'm going to guess.
Should be something you should know.
I mean, I remember watching the episode and being not that impressed by him. I thought,
Ooh,
well, he wasn't...
controversial.
He wasn't all that.
Right. 19. Who did Lofty hit with a boomerang? Was it A. Ethel, B. Lou, C. Den, or D. Dot?
My God, that's the story when they first introduced Melbourne Star.
Right, so the last question.
Of this part.
Yes, of part 1. Number 20. Where does Dr. Legg live? A. Albert Square, B. Hackney, C. Hampstead, or D. Islington?
That's a lucky coincidence that was only mentioned today.
Ooh.
So, in a later episode. So, yeah. Of time of recording, I was able to give that answer very quickly.
Right, so do you want to go through the first 20 answers?
I do. Yep, exciting. Let's do this.
Right, this may be a bit difficult because I need to hold 2 things at
Multitask.
once.
You can't say letters in the same row. So now you're going to have to do answer and question.
Right, so question 1. Who tussled with the drag artist in the Queen Vic? And the answer was Pete Bill.
Yep. Do you want to
Which
make
is
sure
D.
I give my answer? Because I could say I got it right and then...
Oh, okay, you
I'll tell you
say
my
it.
answer and you can tell me if I'm right or
So
wrong.
number 2, where was Andy O'Brien born?
I don't know. So I put C.
No, it's A, Glasgow.
Oh, I want... Oh, okay.
Right, 3, who lives at 45 Albert Square?
I put B.
The Fowlers? That's
Yeah.
correct.
I knew it wasn't Den because he
lives
lives in the Vic.
What?
And also the other 2 are flats, not
No.
one house.
Number 4, what is Ethel's surname?
Skinner, A.
Yep, A, that's correct. 5, what were the names of Debbie's kittens?
Starting in Hutch.
That's correct.
I missed them 2. They've
I
only got
know,
one
that's
now,
so
the cafe
sweet.
cat.
Right, number 6, what was the name of the knitting firm set up by Lofty, Ian and Calvin?
I'm not going to try to say the name, but it was a combination of all their surnames, so it's D.
I had trouble saying it, but that's correct. It's Loftelium. Lofteli Ian?
Yeah, and then Calvin.
Right, number 7, who lent the knitting machine to them?
Why, it was only Kath.
Yep, C. Kath, not Kathy. 8, one of the square's residents is a would-be clairvoyant. Who is it?
It was Miss Skinner again, Ethel.
It was A. Ethel. Number 9, who pestered Debbie with an anonymous phone call?
Well, it was Saeed.
It was
the
B.
Dirty stop out, and he went out to see girls, and he found out that Punk Mary was a stripper.
He did, and then the actor quit the show because he didn't agree with the storyline. Right, number 10, who offered to be the business advisor to Lofty and Co. in their knitting enterprise?
Debbie.
That's correct. D. Debbie. Got a little bit of Debbie.
At least she was doing something then. I know she's not doing much now.
Right, number 11, what is the name of Dr. Cotton's husband?
Charlie Cotton.
That's correct. D is Charlie. Right, number 12, where did Michelle and Lou go for a holiday?
I couldn't remember, which really annoyed me. I think it was Margate.
That's correct.
Yes.
B. Margate.
I love Margate t-shirt.
I thought it was a Clacton t-shirt, actually.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no, wait. Yeah, no, because she thought she pretended that a waiter fell in love with her. Yes.
Yeah. Right, number 13. What colours are worn by the Walford town?
Blue and white.
D, that's correct.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, I remember these little details.
Right, number 14. In the Walford Carnival, who played Black Death?
I think it was B, which is Punk Mary.
No, you're going to be surprised by this. It's D, Debbie.
Oh. Oh, I'm disappointed bitterly
Debbie's
by
loving
that.
it. Right, 15. What is Lofty's real Christian name?
I remember it's A.
Yes, George.
George, yeah.
16. Who questioned Nick about the death of Reg Cox?
I think it might be too early, but I thought it was A.
No, it's B, and it's D.S. Rich.
Yeah, he was the annoying one.
Yeah,
Not
the
that
bad
either of
actor.
them. Yeah, neither of them were.
Yeah,
great.
Quick was
Later. He was the one who,
worse,
after
but-
Debbie's affections.
Right, 17. Who stole cash from the Queen Vic?
It was Sharon.
Yes, D. Sharon.
Spoiled
She's got form.
brat Sharon. And then
She's still doing it now.
Well, she's doing, and she then got drunk soon after that. And there's that famous scene of her laying on the stairs with a bottle of vodka.
Right, number 18. What was the name of the male stripper who appeared at the Queen Vic?
I don't know. I put A.
No, it's B. Fabulous Frankie.
Of course it is.
Right, 19. Who did Lofty hit with a boomerang?
I think it was Dot.
Yep, D. Dot.
Yeah, when she
How
was
can you forget that? It's when she walked through the door.
Yeah, just to see a bet with Wixie of whether it would come back.
And number 20. Where does Dr. Legg live?
He lives in, it's D, Islington.
Yep, D. Islington. That's correct.
So I only got 3 wrong. I got 17.
Ooh, 17 out of 20. And that's part 1. So we've got part 2 of the quiz coming up later. So everyone put their pens down and we'll continue this in a minute.
How did everyone out there do?
There's still part 2 to come.
I was about to say we're only halfway there.
Get ahead of you. Are you mentioning halfway?
No. So if you did get a low score, you can always redeem yourself on the second part. But
before then, we've got a lot of drama to talk about.
I was also going to say, spoiler alert: the second part's hard, or harder, a bit more difficult.
Right. So we've got the big storyline of New Year to discuss now, which has lots of twists and turns throughout the week. Which is the big wedding.
Yeah, the wedding of the year.
Mel's got some new neck wedding dress attire.
She has a little silk cloth that she's probably torn off her own dress and fashioned herself, so she looks a bit more like Audrey Hepburn.
Hunter's Am I a Sociopath test from last year has come back into play.
Finally been revealed for how that's true.
So yeah, we had loads going on. It was the end of the Mel Ray Hunter storyline, which is fun.
Yeah, it was
well, the beginning of the end. There's obviously a few more.
Well, a
things.
new story has come from it. So from the seeds of this plot, a new tree will be grown.
Yeah, Jack's back.
Jack is back,
which is fun. I know you love him.
Yeah. And he tweets, by the way, on Twitter that basically says anything
horrible about Jack.
Yeah, it's basically me. Just in case you guys wanted to know.
So
come at me.
There's quite a few things that led up to everything this week. Lots of twists and turns. So we'll just go through the main points because so much happened. So at the beginning of the week is New Year's Eve, which is the day before the wedding, and that's when the two wives, Maddie and Nicola, want to speak to Mel midway through their New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, they're not very confident that they feel like they can trust Mel because they've been burned already by Ray. So they feel like that Mel is going to mess up. Well, not just mess up, but also take all the rewards afterwards for herself. So the money and the villas and
she's found a new villa on his phone, isn't she?
She's taking photographs of a deal that's been put through for a house in Tenerife, and going to be a very rich young woman.
And so she needs to go away from the party. So she tells Shirley, her mate. Because Mel doesn't have any mates, so Shirley's her best option.
Well, mate for pay, so she's her best friend for 20 quid.
Yeah, even for 20 quid, Shirley didn't do a very good job.
No, she didn't even attempt to give a good job. She didn't even attempt it.
So can you distract Mel?
No, Mel said, can you distract Ray? And she's like, yeah, for a cost, 20 quid. 5 minutes later, where's Mel? Oh, I've not meant to tell you, but I meant to distract you. £20 well spent.
It's ridiculous. And Mel gets quite upset. She thinks she's in the house on her own. She said, oh, he's such a cheat, and starts crying, and Hunter's listening.
Yeah, because he's writing his best man speech, because
he forgot. Apparently.
This big day. Something that obviously Hunter's been quite looking forward to as well.
For months.
For months and months and months and months, because he loves Ray, and he's raised his own father, and he loves his mum, obviously, and it's just, how would you forget to write a best man speech? It just seems obvious.
Too busy on Snapchat with Louise. Well, yeah, she goes up to Hunter and he obviously hears that Ray is cheating, so she makes like a fake lie. But she says Nicola as a woman that she's come across.
Well, I think she's actually about to reveal it to Hunter and get Hunter in the loop. But Hunter makes her double track because Hunter interrupts her and says, "Oh, you mean about girls he's seen when you weren't dating anymore? Oh, you were seeing Jack, so why does it matter?" And she took that as an opportunity to think, reel it in.
Yeah, I won't let him know then. But yeah, Hunter goes straight to Ray and tells him.
Yeah, it says, Mel's getting cold feet, but don't worry about it. I calmed her down. She says something about one of your exes, and Ray first of all was like, "Oh yeah, haha, one of my exes, diddly dee." And as soon as he reveals the name Nicola, Ray's face goes white, and he gets very cold all of a sudden in the pub.
His longest serving wife, Nicola.
Yeah.
Well, we assume. We don't know. We may never know.
Well, no, he had a wife before Nicola, remember? Because Nicola mentioned...
She died.
Under suspicious circumstances.
Beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded.
Oh, well, like Henry VIII?
Died.
So we're saying the first wife was beheaded. Divorced. Oh, no, the first one has to be divorced.
She might have been. One of the other ones.
Okay, so then the second one is...
Was one he murdered.
Beheaded. I mean, Mel was almost beheaded with being
twice.
strangled. Yeah, twice. He had his hands round her. Well, first of all, he tied her up because they made a big point, didn't they? When I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
That's fine. We can just jump ahead because we need to get on with the week.
Fair enough.
Because basically he gets worried about this Nicola, so he then...
Well, he realises that Mel knows. And his final nut that he cracked literally was the ring, which he cracked because he then discovered it was glass. So he starts phoning people around. This is on New Year's Day, the actual day of the wedding.
Yes.
He starts calling the bank around. Again, banks open on a bank holiday. Why not? And he finds out that the money has been taken out of his account and his investments. And so he says to Mel that he knows that she knows that he has 2 wives.
But he's also got a gun on him at this point.
Yes, which he's spinning. A
bit like Stuart.
Well, and he threatens to kill himself. He says one of us has to go. He spins the gun and it lands on him. And he looks like he's about to kill himself. And Mel talks him down. It's
she needs to be married first, doesn't she, for a cash?
Which is exactly it. So she does it on purpose because he reveals that he has more money other than the one that she's taken out of his account. Because she says, "I've taken the money out." That was funny as well. When she goes, "I've taken the money out of your account," ha ha ha, and he just goes like, "Ha ha ha, I know." And she's really surprised by this. It's like, well, if you're surprised that he knows, why reveal it in such a kind of snarky, arrogant way? Anyway, she tries to run away because Ray is getting a little bit obsessive over her and wants to, kind of pushing himself onto her and wants to kiss her. And she had earlier tightened up her hair.
Oh yeah, I wondered why they showed a close up of that. I said that's going to come into play. I thought she was going to stab him with it or something.
With a pin, 100 times.
But no, he wrapped it around her neck and strangled her in the doorway.
Yeah, her headpiece was strangling her. More wonderful cross-eyed acting, which we've seen once already this year.
We have with Stuart. Also, more deathly wedding dresses.
Yes.
Because Ronnie, 2 years ago, passed away in her wedding dress.
Something about weddings.
She got tangled up in it.
Also, more resurrections. Again, Christmas seems to be the time for resurrection.
Ray comes across as this man who knows everything in the police force, knows all the tricks, and murdered multiple people, pushed a man off a balcony. He checked her and thought she was dead and put her in under the stairs.
He didn't even check her. He just presumed she was dead because she fell to the floor and collapsed. I mean, Mel had more sense to check whether someone was dead because later on, Ray is presumed dead without revealing too much, and she checks his pulse.
Not very well, though, clearly.
Yeah, again, she made a mess up too, and Zombie Ray came into the equation.
Yeah, he assumes Mel's dead, so he then goes to his own wedding to save front, I assume, because he's just assuming Mel's not going to appear because she's dead.
Yeah, and so he's deliberately acting all kind of nervous and worried. Oh my God, am I going to be stood up at my own wedding? Ian Beale is loving it.
Yeah, shall we quickly talk about all the bit things during the wedding over this while he's waiting for Mel to turn up, because all the characters are getting quite excited about this.
Yes, we definitely should.
And we have some hints with Honey and Adam and Billy, which is quite interesting looking for next year. Yeah,
so if there was a few almost set up plots for the future happening in the church, which was good, which set nice to know that things are being thought.
Because Louise was like, why do you have to be here? And he said, Sharon wanted me to come to give her all the details. So Sharon's obviously said, I want to know what happens at the wedding.
Yeah, because
in
Mel...
Australia gossiping.
Well, Mel is her friend / arch nemesis.
Yeah, so that's funny. That was a nice little ad. And we had that bit with Billy, Honey and Adam, where Adam showed a slightly dark side, but I'm still on his side even though he's presumed to be horrible.
I mean, he is Mr. Muscles, so we love him for that. However, we obviously saw a couple of weeks ago when he was sat in the park and he was watching Billy go by and he gave him a kind of strained, angry look. So we knew that dark Adam was on his way.
Yeah, we knew this was coming. Yeah. It was too perfect.
And it was just one line where Honey makes a bit of a mess up.
Like grammar, but not grammar, but like the way she said something wasn't the proper way.
Honey says, "Don't patronise to me, Billy," and Adam scoffs and rolls his eyes and said, "Honey, it's don't patronise me. No two needed." And Billy spots this, but kind of, Billy, I won't interfere.
I'm so annoyed.
I know.
Billy's going to be like the saviour in like a year's time. It's going to annoy me.
But you have to remember though, Billy's got another affection on the square now, and her name is Karen Taylor. I don't know. There was flirting all night, and then the big kiss at the end.
No, that was just a bit of fun from Karen.
I like to see Karen, and I'd like Karen to become a Mitchell.
Through Billy?
Yeah, she'd be a good Mitchell.
Yeah, she would be quite good. Although Sharon, can you imagine a Mitchell dinner with Sharon and Karen at the table?
I mean, again, this is a story I'm hoping in 2019 will reoccur, because the Easter
Mitchell dinner
was one of the highlights of my year. And
I want Kathy at the table with Ben.
I'd like to see Kathy. Quite honestly, again,
we're still on there
every year, every week. I just want to know what happened to Kathy.
So we're calling it the next Mitchell dinner, which we presume is normally around Easter time.
We'll say Easter. Yeah.
We want to see a Kathy, a Ben Mitchell, and Karen dating Billy there.
Yeah, and a Sharon.
And
Keanu has to be invited for some loose reason, like you're a mate of mine.
Well, ask Kate Oates, another spoiler. She said they're bringing Keanu and Phil very close together. He'll almost see him like a son. Didn't she?
Yeah.
And she said there's lots more twists and turns of Shani for big storyline next year.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that.
I know.
Yeah, again, another
Once
highlight.
Letitia's back from her rest.
Yeah, I hope she comes back really tan. I just can't
With
wait.
really long hair.
Long hair.
Long blonde curly hair.
Sun bleached. not bottle, sun bleached blonde hair.
She's been to Disneyland. Mickey invited her personally on Children in Need.
That's true. She gave him a gift. Look, Mickey, it's a gift for you. Oh, thanks, Sharon.
So Mel does turn up to the wedding.
Yes.
Going back on track to
with that scarf round her neck, as you mentioned.
That was great. From here onwards, it was really good, the storyline, I thought.
That's right, yeah.
Because New Year's Day was a little bit, not slow, but I thought we were going to get lots more because it was an hour episode. But no, it got better as the week went on, I feel. But from the moment she resurrected with the scarf around her neck, and she became more of that Mel that I personally was thinking Mel would be like when they announced her return. Yeah, this is what I remember from Mel when she used to be in it. This sort of fiery, tough old bird.
Yeah, old boot. No, she's great. Yeah, it's great to see this Mel. And again, throughout the week, this was the Mel that we wanted. Yeah,
because Ray kept trying to like convince her and confuse her and persuade her that he's good and he'll stay with her. And not once did she fall for him and say, okay, yeah, let's try be together. So that was really good, I thought.
Yeah, she stayed strong and she kept with the plan that she had started.
Yeah, like headstrong.
Nothing Ray could say would stop her. And yeah, as you say, she doesn't storm, but she does kind of do the entrance down the aisle. And
she didn't get embarrassed either. No. Like, she didn't let any of it embarrass her. She just kept with her plan and kept going and just showed front. And she talked to Ray and she sort of ended up convincing him he has to go through with it because she's got the marks on her neck.
She threatens to go to the police over the marks on her neck.
And the Ray's two other wives have now gone to the police and shown their marriage certificates.
Yes.
So he's been done for bigamy. So they get married, walk down, get confetti thrown on them by Halfway and Whitney, who are in love. And the police arrest him there and then.
Yeah, and he turns to Mel and says, "What have you done?" So he knows instantly that this is all down to Mel. So, yeah, really exciting.
And she slaps the two wives to keep up front.
Which she does. She has to keep her front up. She goes over and says, "Don't react," but he has more money. And then slaps him around the face.
You're lying! I hope that's not the last we see of those two, because that's the last time we saw them this week.
Maddie and Nicola, I'd love to see them again.
I think they just need one more little thing to finish off their arc,
I've got a feeling that they're going to be the chink in the chain of the mystery of keeping the secret of Ray's
disappearance.
Disappearance.
Yeah. I don't need them to feature heavily, but I just feel they just need something just to end their part. It feels a bit unfinished at the moment with those two, if that is for the last we see of them. But raising the police van, we think that's all over, but
he feigns a heart attack. He feigns a heart attack.
I mean, they've cuffed him from the front, which you don't do. So that's one thing I don't like.
When were you arrested last?
Well, they always cuff you from behind your back.
If you don't show, I know this for a fact, if you don't show any resistance, they'll cuff you at the front. They only cuff you from behind if you're fighting against them.
Yeah, so he fakes a heart attack, so the police people come out. The female police officer's a bit more on the ball.
Yes.
But he tases the guy, and then I love, did you notice?
He doesn't taser him.
Well, he
tases him, but he gets the pepper spray to the woman, so he then lifts the pepper spray up to her.
Yeah.
And she gets the baton.
Did you like the sound effect they added? Did you notice it?
No.
They added like a shing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a sword sound effect they added to her baton.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was awful, but amazing.
Oh, no, I'd like that.
I can't believe you missed it.
For me, that adds realism.
No. It sounds like a metal, like shing.
Oh, like a samurai sword.
Yeah, it's really funny. I can't believe you missed that.
Oh.
But she was a bit more switched on because she said, "Why are you trying to escape? There's more to you than
there's
just
more to you than this." Yeah, because he locks them in the car, takes the keys out, and throws it. I mean, it took them then 12 hours to discover them. Surely the police
know these people haven't come back.
Well, because they'll be radio signalling them and saying, "Oh, can you go to a job, please?" Like 10 minutes later, why didn't you turn up for the job? Or perhaps they've been stuck, and it wasn't exactly like a quiet place they stopped either. It was quite an open road. Cars went by.
And Ray would have had to run all the way home. I don't know how far away he was, but that was a bit silly. But I'll let EastEnders have it. We can have bit silliness in the show.
Suspend a little bit of disbelief.
Because they added a sword sound effect, so it's fine.
Okay, that's a given.
But again, the Walford police are useless.
Yeah.
Ray outsmarted them. So Ray has really, the second this happened, I thought, that's it, Ray's done for. He's escaped police custody, kidnapped 2 policemen. That's okay, we know this is no going back now. I knew the second that happened, his fate
It was
sealed.
Ray that was going to be sealed.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, leading up to this, really up to the very last minute, I did think it was going to be Hunter who was going to be the one.
Because of his solo career.
Yeah, his forging solo career. Yeah, absolutely.
But, he really goes up, again, step it up another level. A bit like how Alfie suddenly turned evil on Boxing Day. Ray, really gets... I guess he's desperate now, isn't he? He just needs to get out of the country, is his plan at the moment.
But first, before he does any of that, he wants his brown bag back. And so he goes back to Mel's house and completely turns it over. This really annoyed me. So Hunter goes back to the house, sees the house is turned over, phones his mum. Oh, his body's just been burgled.
Well, that's Jack's awful policing.
Well, no, and then Jack later says it was probably some local youths.
They knew you were out.
Knew you were out having a wedding.
The crack den around the corner, they did it. So for God's sake, Jack.
Oh, he is just impossible, Jack.
And he was taking photos of Mel's neck on his mobile phone.
Yeah, and getting really up close.
She was standing in a window, so it was all light.
Light was
and you couldn't see anything on her neck.
Yeah, but Jack was using it as an opportunity to flirt with her. It's
I know, he almost kissed her.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? How if someone's just come up to you and said, "Oh,
Jack, I've just been strangled. I've just been murdered on my wedding day."
Yeah, I've been
lean in for a kiss.
Someone's attempted to murder me. My fiance, now husband, attempted to murder me. And Jack's like, "Oh, okay then," and then takes his shirt off and starts trying to try it on with you. Jack is just useless.
He's had a haircut though, new modern haircut.
Which makes him look even worse because now his head looks like
Jim Branning.
He looks more like Jim Branning, so his ears stick out more, and his head is the same length as his neck. So he looks like
he's muscly.
He looks like Is it Beaker from the Muppets? Someone goes me 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 me. That's what Jack Browning looks like. He just winds me up.
He's not very good, but he did accompany Mel back to the flat to see if everything was okay.
I need a sip of tea. I need to calm down.
Yeah,
you carry on.
I'll carry on surmising. And then Hunter gets in a fight with Ray because he catches him coming home, and he confronts Ray. Looks for the kitchen knife.
Yeah, he wasn't very subtle, was he, when he looked over at the knife block?
He was there ready to kill him because he'd hurt his mum.
Yeah.
So then Ray sends Mel a text message of Hunter tied up in a boot. And he says, "You need to come alone."
A boot as in the back of a car, not a shoe.
Boot. No.
Little Hunter. A tiny little boot.
Or a big boot.
Or a giant boot. The old woman that lives in a shoe.
So, I mean, Mel didn't tell Jack any of this. She did keep it. He said, "Come alone, don't tell anyone." She did.
Yeah, well,
do you think that was smart?
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine Jack I mean, to be fair, the scenes with Mel running around the forest were a little bit. It kind of showed Mel's weakness a touch, because Mel was running around the forest, wobbling a gun around, like the slightest noise made her suddenly jump. Like when Ray jumped out from behind the trees and was like, "Rah!" She just fell over on the ground. I loved.
She was a bit jumpy, but she did keep her cool.
She did. Ish. Well, she was.
I think she kept surprising herself, actually.
Yeah, she negotiated brilliantly. Remember, this guy is like a very good way at manipulating people. She was almost able to do the same back and see through his lies as well.
Yes.
He was very good.
I mean, he said he'd arranged a mate to come and sort him out and to not phone this number back, but she did phone it back, and it was just like a pizza delivery
thing. I mean, you can imagine if you're the guy working at the pizza delivery shop and you had some man going, yeah, that boy I told you to take away, just bring him back to the forest. The guy in the pizza delivery shop would be like, do you want garlic bread with that?
They should have brought the pizza guy back from a few months ago. Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, 1 to 5 ordered 12
boy?
pizzas.
They should have brought him back for a little cameo on the line.
I like that, actually. They could have ridden off into the distance, just Mel, Hunter, and the pizza guy.
But I thought Hunter would have been in the boot, but he wasn't in the boot. He was just like dumped in the forest and tied up.
Yeah, a really big mistake by Ray that he kept Hunter's mobile phone in his pocket. So Mel was able to find him by calling him. And at last she did find him. Yes. But then at the same time, Ray was uncutting his ties.
He was.
By rubbing her silk cloth.
So yeah, he got free, and this sort of went full horror film now.
It did Amityville.
Because he was like chasing her.
Amityville horror, let's just say.
She was trying to get in the car and get away from him, and she kept dropping the keys.
She got the keys. He was whacking the door with the spade. I mean, that security glass in that car was amazing. Last week
he missed the glass 3 times though.
Although also Mel's driving skills wasn't very strong, because she literally started the engine, drove 5 foot forward, and then whacked into a tree.
That was so funny. It reminded me of The Simpsons when the ambulance drives into the tree and then Homer falls back down the cliff. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it did.
She ran over Ray. Very Happy Valley.
Yes. Oh, nice reference to Happy Valley.
Not twice, just once.
No, I liked that though. But that would have been nice if she really showed her like aggression again, like all this built-up anger toward all the horrible things he's done to her. She just kept going back and forth. That
would have been a bit dark though for EastEnders.
I mean, there was many dark scenes this week.
There was.
Big Man on the toilet.
I know, I had to rewatch it because for some reason we were watching Coronation Street, just passing the time, and then that overran, and then we missed EastEnders.
I know.
For 2 minutes.
Naughty ITV.
So that annoyed me.
Tut.
And it wasn't even that good.
Ooh.
Corrie, not EastEnders.
Controversial.
I don't care. So yeah, she then gets out of the car because she thinks he's hit him. She should have just driven off, really.
Yeah, but no,
it's a bit risky,
because they're worried now that people will think that it was done on purpose, and it looked like there's a struggle, and it just looked like things had happened. So she buries him.
Her tyres have been slashed in her red sports car.
Yeah, yes. So
he did that.
He did that. Yeah. So she starts burying Ray. Ray gets back up and tries to strangle Mel again, and then Hunter shoots him and
shoots him dead.
She
doesn't want Hunter to go to prison for gum like him. She said, "I've already dug a hole."
Yeah.
So yeah, they get rid of him.
Well, they find the bullet as well. The shell.
She wants to get rid of her dress and his clothes. He has a shower. She has a shower. They drive Ray's car back.
Yes.
But obviously they've left her sports car there.
That's a bit baffled
dodgy.
me. So there's a car there. So they're going to see that her car is in the middle of the forest.
They're going to have to get that. That's a big issue here.
They're going to have to get a tow truck.
I know. I don't know how they're going to do it. That's why they need a bit of jack help.
Max and Rainey. They know someone with a tow truck. Remember, they tow trucked in some cars to the car lot.
Yeah.
Get some more Brannings on board.
So I don't know what's going to do that, because Mel's going on about the first 48 hours. She's watched lots of true crime documentaries.
She really has.
It's all the first 48 hours. And the police are turning up at this point, saying that Ray hasn't escaped custody, apparently.
Yeah, they've
in the
just
middle
discovered.
Of the night.
Yeah, funny that. And Mel insists that she wouldn't help him because of all the things he's done to her. They add more worry to Mel because they said they have to find him.
So otherwise it worries her.
It worries the DCI. And Mel's instantly like, oh, no, they're going to now do a big hunt for him. And
they need to get rid of the body. Because it wasn't a very deep hole he was dug in.
Well, no, he got up, didn't he? Yeah. Zombie Ray, as we mentioned earlier.
So that needed to be better.
The first time when Mel thought she killed him, by hitting him with a car, he got up and he spat soil out of his mouth as well. It was like...
So I don't know how they're going to get away with this. I don't know what... I'm quite looking forward to what happens next week.
I am actually, because I do like a little romp when they're trying to escape. It's
the
a bit
custody.
like Bradley and Stacey, the live episode.
Yeah.
Like, I love bits and pieces like that. Hopefully they don't draw it out too much, because I don't think it will be. Short, sharp shock could be fun.
But yeah, it's interesting because there's obviously Mel's car. We know that a dog walker finds a body. We're assuming now that's Ray, even though they said it was a young character, so that misled everyone. Obvious misleading. It's Ray. So the body must be found. I'm assuming her car's moved. Is she going to trust Jack and tell Jack and try and get some help from him?
I don't know.
To cover this up?
Well, the biggest question, to be honest with you, is at the end of the episode, you heard what seemed like a bang sound, and we found out that Hunter still had the gun in his hand, and he was kind of caressing it. He was kind of making love to it.
70% psychopath. He's finally killed, and that's obviously unlocked something in his mind, and he quite likes it because he's kept the gun, but he's got rid of all the other evidence.
But has he killed himself?
No.
Has he shot? No. I think it's unlikely.
No, he's not killed himself.
I just think it was meant to be a shock for Mel that the glass fell on the floor.
I think I mean, quite a few comments we've got, because we said, was it a glass or was it a shot? I'm just going to give my opinion before I read any out.
Go on then.
But I think it's either A, the glass broke and Mel's just linking that noise to the gunshot noise and it's going to traumatize her, or Hunter's has shot it by accident, but just shot it
into the roof
or whatever, and now Mel's oh, he just shot a gun, we have to act really quick to try and cover what that was. So that gives a bit of tension, they have to think, oh, the police are running around the corner, Jack will hear the gunshot, everyone in the Vic will hear it, Hunter will run away or something and he'll go on the run, maybe.
I mean, when Stuart shot himself, we later found out in the Vic, no one seemed to give a monkeys round the square.
Dennis did. Everyone heard it. Remember, Mel looked through her window.
Well, everyone heard it, but no one seemed to do much.
No, but still, it adds a bit of tension, because Mel will think, oh, that's something else we now have to hide or cover up.
But the one thing we can guarantee is that we're probably going to have more Jack in the equation, so that'd be something to look forward to. So go on then, the comments on Twitter.
I got quite a few comments, so I'm just going to go through some of them really quickly. So Caddy Lover says, I think the gun went off. I reckon it's too dark, even for EastEnders, for Hunter to have committed suicide. So I think it was an accident, and he's fine. Patrick said 100% a gunshot. I rewound it 5 times. Confusing though, because Mel didn't seem to react at all, even though she definitely would have heard it.
The Caddy Lover one, at the end you said, and he's fine. What, Caddy Lover's fine? Or
no, Hunter's fine.
I'm sorry, I thought you were just saying, oh, and by the way, he's fine.
I don't know, there's no picture of him. Matt Cherry says the closed caption said gunshot/glass breaking. Rob Imms said, did Hunter just shoot himself? John said, I think so.
Oh, thank you, John.
And EastEnders Slater #1 fan says, these damn guns as well. As I hear and saw the bang on the subtitles. So that's another one saying that the subtitles said gunshot. So,
but there was a gunshot sound. It's just whether it's
but it's
Mel...
more of like an editing effect.
Yeah.
I think.
Was it Mel imagining the sound when the glass fell, or was it that the gun was shot? That's the question.
It is. We will find out Tuesday, because it's not on Monday.
We've got 20 more questions then, haven't we? Coming up.
We have part 2 of the big fat quiz of the square. Right. So, part 2 of the big fat quiz of the square.
You make it sound dirty. Stop.
No, I'm just trying not to get copywritten by Channel 4.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Right, so we are now doing questions 21 to 40 of the 1985 EastEnders annual quiz, supplied to us with photographic evidence by EastEnders cast cards.
Check him out on Instagram and Twitter.
Right, so we're going to start off straight away. Right, are you ready?
My pencil is burning to be written with.
Right. 21. Who took over the flat of Reg Cox when he died? Was it A, Ali and Sue, B, Dot, C, Mary, or D, Lofty? Right. 22. What is the name of Pete Bill's first wife? Bracket Simon Wick's mother.
Oh, that's a clue and a half.
A, Jenny.
Who the heck is Jenny?
B, Dora.
The explorer.
She explored Pete. C, Pat. Or D, Shirley. Do you think that's Shirley Carter?
Maybe.
Right. 23. Which EastEnder appeared in a TV beer commercial as a guardsman? Was it A, Arthur, B, Pete, C, Den, or D, Lofty? A strange one there.
That's a guess and a half, but Yeah, let's do it.
24. Which EastEnder appeared briefly in the TV epic Jewel in the Crown?
Why are they... okay.
Part 2 of the quiz. Is it A, Peter Dean, brackets Pete? B, Leslie Grantham, brackets Den? C, Anna Wing, brackets Lou? Or D, Sherlina Ganoche, brackets Neymar?
Now, I know that Jewel in the Crown is about the Principality of the United Kingdom in India. So
we'll find out. Seeing as I know Neymar's a complete Wikipedia.
Only because you're obsessed with her.
Number 25. When Michelle invented a holiday boyfriend, what was his nationality?
I just mentioned that in the first part. Excellent.
Was it A, Irish, B, Spanish, C, Italian, or D, Swiss?
Oh, I thought it was French. Okay.
Maybe in a restaurant, so you have to find a restaurant.
I mean, anywhere for someone to come to the UK and then work in Margate is a downgrade, really, isn't it? I'm going to guess. I think that's it. Cool.
Right, 26. In episode 1, who punched his first... It's because they put 1, but the letter like I, so it confused me.
Oh, in episode I.
I thought it was like the name of an episode. I Who Punched. Right. Number 26. In episode 1, who punched his fist through the glass in the pub door? Was it A, Ali, B, Den, C, Nick, or D, Tony?
Cool.
27. What nationality is Ali? Is it A, Turkish / Cypriot? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
B, Cypriot, C, Greek, or D, Albanian?
Okay, yeah.
And underneath that is a lovely photo of Neymar's first husband making cornflakes.
Not making cornflakes. He's not
displaying them.
He looks a bit lost. Again, he looks surprised by the flash in that picture.
Right, 28. What was Lofty doing before coming to Albert Square?
Ooh.
Was he A, barman at Southend, B, car mechanic in the army, C, hotel porter in the West End, or D, a male nurse in a hospital? 29. When Reg Cox was found dying in his room, who found him? Was it A, Den Lofty Arthur, B, Den Ali Arthur, C, Pete Ali Arthur, or D, Nick Ali Den? Do you want me to repeat them?
No. I think you can for the benefit of the listeners. Oh, okay, hang on.
Number 30. What colour is Simon's sports car?
Oh.
A, red, B, green, C, yellow, or D, white?
I wasn't
Don't
looking
get
at
it confused with Dirty Den's sports car from 1986.
Yeah, I won't.
Or Jack Browning's sports car from 2017.
His rental.
31. Who gave Lofty a special haircut and blow dry, which was a complete disaster?
And it wasn't just haircut and blow dry, it was colouring, yeah.
I tried to fix it. Right, was it A, Michelle, B, Mary, C, Pauline, or D, Sharon?
I mean, any of one of those could have
or
the skill.
Stacey Slater. She'd do that nowadays.
Ah.
Right, number 32. Who accidentally soaked WPC Alison Howard with a hose pipe? Was it A, Calvin and Ian, B, Arthur, C, Nick, or D, Ali and Sue? That's an odd. 33. What was the name of Mary's stripper friend?
I loved her.
I know. She was only in like 12 episodes. Right, was it A, Diana, B, Julie, C, Sheena, or D, Tracy?
I love her so much I can't remember her name. I
remember her name the second I said it.
Yeah.
Right, 34. How did Nick get access to Dr. Legg's medical records? Did he A, he broke in, B, Ethel let him in, C, he found them in the square, D, he copied Ethel's key? I feel there's like multiple answers to that question.
Well, yeah, there's two possible ones really for that one, but there's one definitive.
What is the one that the BBC chose?
Yeah.
This is an official quiz, remember?
This is when he blackmailed Kathy. We found about Kathy's
daughter.
Yeah, and rape.
Number 35. What's the name of Dr. Legg's house? Is it A, Homely, C, Cromer, B, Cromer, C, Cranley, or D, Ventnor?
Now, I think it's this. However,
One of these is Phil Mitchell's house, isn't it?
No, this isn't.
Is
No.
it?
This
Like
is
currently?
Vincent's and Kim's old house.
No, I mean one of those names is one that Mitchell House is called. Okay.
But then that's not Dr. Legg's house. They've just contradicted themselves in their own quiz. Because unless one of those houses are in Islington, so they should have said which one is owned by Dr. Legg. Just saying.
I'll take it up with the BBC
I will.
1985 department.
I certainly will.
Number 36. What is the name of Sue and Ali's calf? Is it A, Ali's calf, B, Bridge calf, C, Owl's calf, or D, Albert calf? Right, number 37. Where did Den and Angie go on their ill-fated holiday? Was it A, Ibiza, B, Benidorm, C, Mallorca, or D, Italy?
I don't think it's D. Okay.
Well, this was before they went filming on it in 86, remember? This is 85.
Yeah.
So it's a different holiday.
Not the Orient Express.
No.
Oh no, Disneyland was Sharon.
Right, 38. How many Albert Square street signs are there in the square? It's going to be a bit of a guess, I feel. Is there A, 3, B, 6, C, 1, or D, 2? 39. How were Ethel's parents tragically killed at the same time?
This was sad.
Was it A, a gas leak, B, a doodlebug, C, a train crash, or D, motor accident?
I love Ethel, and that made me hurt for her when she revealed that.
Right, number 40, the final question.
Oh, right.
Who returned Willie to Ethel after he was lost? Was it A, Dot, B, Kelvin, C, Den, or D, DS Quick?
Oh, so he was on the scene.
Just
about. Good.
Everyone get their papers ready.
Yeah, get your little
marking books.
Check marks ready.
No cheating.
No. You're only cheating yourself if you cheat.
Who took over the flat of Reg Cox when he died?
It was Punk Mary.
That's correct. C, Mary. Mary?
Needs the money. It had dry rot, so she had to leave the flat. And it kind of mysteriously, she slept somewhere else, but you didn't really find out.
Yeah, and it got bigger and all redecorated for a new set. Right, 22. What is the name of Pete Bill's first wife?
Pat Evans.
That's correct. C, Pat. I'll accept Pat. 23. Which EastEnder appeared in a TV beer commercial as a guardsman?
No, I don't know the answer to this. However, it seems likely it was Pete. B.
No.
Oh.
It was A, Arthur.
Oh, really?
24. Which EastEnder appeared briefly in the TV epic Jewel in the Crown?
I think it's Neymar. D.
No, it's B, Leslie Grantham.
Really? A bit disappointed in myself.
25. When Michelle invented a holiday boyfriend, what was his nationality?
Now, as I mentioned, I thought French, so that was wrong. So I just put B, Spain.
No, C, Italian. I knew that.
I mean, this part's got
She
hard.
was trying to make fun of. She made Sharon jealous.
Was it an Italian restaurant?
Boyfriend.
Oh, I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right, 26. In episode 1, I nearly read it wrong again.
Episode
Who
I.
punched his fist through the glass in the pub door?
It was Nick, but it's because he had an altercation with Ali.
It was Ali.
Oh.
A.
No. I don't agree with that. I think it was Nick. Because Nick got thrown out, and then because he was so angry, he then punched the glass from outside in.
You have to go back and watch it, won't you? Episode I. Right, number 27. What nationality is Ali?
He is A, Turkish/Cypriot.
That's correct.
Yeah.
28. What was Lofty doing before coming to Albert Square?
He was a car mechanic in the army.
That's correct. B. 29. When Reg Cox was found dying in his room, who found him?
Right. I put Arthur, Den, and Ali. B.
That's correct. B. Den, Ali, Arthur.
Sorry. Does order count?
30. What colour is Simon's sports car?
No, I couldn't remember, but I think it's yellow.
That's correct. C. Yellow. 31. Who gave Lofty a special haircut and a blow dry, which was a complete disaster?
Michelle gave her the blow dry.
That's correct. A. 32. Who accidentally soaked WPC Alison Howard in with a hose pipe?
In what could be considered one of the gayest scenes in the soap in 1985, I believe it was Calvin and Ian having a water fight whilst washing a car.
That's correct. In the hot summer.
Yeah.
No, number 33. What was the name of Mary's stripper friend?
Sheena?
Yep, that's correct, Sheena.
Because I remember thinking Sheila Easton every time she was on. I don't know why.
Right, number 34. How did Mick get access to Dr. Leg's medical records?
Well, he copied Ethel's key, which is D.
That's correct, D. Although you could just say he broke in because...
Well, technically he didn't know because he had a key.
That's true. Right, 35. What's the name of Dr. Leg's house on the square?
Yeah, Dr. Leg's doctor surgery is called Cranley.
That's correct, C.
Yes.
36. What is the name of Sue and Ali's calf?
I think it's Ali's calf. It's called Ali's calf.
No, Al's calf, C.
Oh, that's fine.
That's not fine, you got it wrong.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But it later does become the Bridge Street Cafe, so they foreshadowed with that quiz.
Right, number 37. Where did Den and Ange go on their ill-fated holiday?
Again, I forgot. I think it's Ibiza.
Yep, A Ibiza. 38. How many Albert Square street signs are there in the square?
Now, I use logic here because Albert Square is actually, obviously, the square, just that one part. And then the rest of it is Bridge Street. So I think it's A1.
A wasn't 1. A was 3.
Sorry, C1.
Oh, no, it's wrong. It's A3.
I should have said A, not said A1.
You should have. 39. How were Ethel's parents tragically killed at the same time?
I'm a doodlebug.
That's correct.
On their house.
B. And the final question of 1985 quiz is who returned Willie to Ethel after he was lost?
It was DS Quick after almost a whole episode of investigation.
That's correct. D. DS Quick.
Lovely, right. Didn't do as good the second time round. I got 15.
What was your total score?
32.
That's not bad, at 40.
32 out of 40.
Well, you'll have to let us know how everyone else did at home.
Yeah, get in touch. Let us know your score. Don't rub it in if you got better than me.
Please do.
Because I'll just reply, you're a liar, and then some emoji. Tweet us at EastEnders Week. Instagram is at EastEnders Weekly Podcast, or you can find us on Facebook by just searching EastEnders Weekly Podcast, or email us if you really want to rub it the salt into the wound. EastEndersWeekly@gmail.com.
Yes, and that was the big fat quiz of Walford.
Of the square.
1985 of the square.
You don't even know what the name is.
It's a new year, new me. Well, there you go, we got through it. 40 questions.
Yeah, hope you guys did really well.
Yes, let us know your results, because it'll be interesting to see if you're better than Alex.
A lot of people are better than me, yeah.
Right, so we're going to do our quick classic roundup. I mean, there's been a lot of episodes this week, so we're a bit short on time.
Yeah, so this is going to be super quick. So we're going to do one moment we liked of the week each. So Ben, what moment was your favourite?
I'm going to say Pete Bill for you, because I'm sure that's you.
Maybe.
We've had lots of comments this week saying they like our Pete Bill impressions. That's fun.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
There you go. I'm going to just give a special mention to Hannah Carpenter, because she's left, apparently. She's disappeared. She's left the show.
Oh, yeah. She's just gone. Her face. She took her face with her. Her angry, then her eyebrows.
The last time we saw her, someone walked into her and she got upset, and now she's moved off the square. Yeah. So she isn't like square. It's Corey.
Yeah, and we checked on Wikipedia, and that was her last episode. So she never came back.
No.
She went off to the sea to join Jane.
I've researched what she's doing now.
Yeah,
she works on the ships.
Jane McDonald. Eat your heart.
Oh, yeah.
She get her own show on Channel 5 as well.
She's got the same voice still as well.
She does. She sounds exactly the same, because we found an interview of her like 2 years ago, didn't we? Yeah, she's super. As Ben's already mentioned, my favourite moment was Pete Bill in drag.
Poor Pete Bill.
I mean, it was just genius. Like the 5 minutes, just condensed into fantastic excellentness.
I mean, this is showing something that I can't believe I'm saying this, but for about 5 seconds, I felt sorry for Pete Bill this week.
I mean, I did, and then when he was crying and he was in full makeup, and all the makeup was like, when all the makeup was running down his face, and his lipstick had smeared as well, so he must have like pushed his hand across his lips, and he was upset. I just thought it was pretty, because he's a lot of people think he was the one who
he's
attacked.
A Walford attacker.
Yeah, and he attacked Pat in the square.
But I the one time I felt sorry for Pete was when Simon was being quite mean to him, because he now knows he's not his dad.
But although you have to remember that about 3 weeks, probably a week ago, but maybe 3-4 weeks ago in the actual soap, Pete was being quite horrible to him when he thought he wasn't his son. He would ignore him. But he didn't reveal that was the reason why he was horrible.
Simon's a bit nasty, actually.
Yeah, I like it.
Cope.
I like news.
More hot.
Whew, calm down.
More hot under the perm.
Can I also have an honourable mention of Punk Mary coming home after being out all night prostituting herself and finding baby Annie wasn't in her cot and her just panic.
I have to say, her acting has gotten like really good this year.
It's gone to 11.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
like really good. Not even, this isn't even a joke. I'm being serious.
No, we've always loved Punk Mary.
I love it.
But
she's really stepped up her game.
I think the whole soap has found its stride now.
You say that every week.
I know I do. Every week it gets better and better.
It does. And I am missing Pat.
Maybe I should do it like Pete from now on. Oh, the soap's not so good. It's not as good as it was today. We want that bad. It's all right, actually. Yeah,
half
too
a pint,
bad.
yeah.
That's for the fans of the Pete Bill impression.
Yes. Anyway, on to a really nice story, which kind of nearly stole the show this week, I feel.
Yeah, and it was a really short story as well,
Yeah.
but it was just really sweet and a kind story. It was nice. It was nice to see it.
It was Bernie and Tiff's relationship, and Bernie sort of coming out and accepting that she's gay.
Bernie's told her mum, told her
that
whole
was a really
family.
nice scene.
Lovely scene. That she did to Karen. It was nothing, wasn't it? She just said, and she makes an announcement to everyone in the pub that I love my daughter no matter what.
And Bernie thought, she's going to tell everyone, but no, she doesn't. And
Keegan does it. Congratulates her in his own charming way by sending her photos of lesbians on Instagram.
but like ones in the 60s,
Yeah.
like Samantha Fox, whatever her name is.
The 80s.
80s,
Samantha
I don't know.
Fox is the 80s, not the 60s.
I don't know, I've never looked into her. Keanu lets Karen know that maybe you're missing something with the Tiff-Bernie relationship as well, and it sort of clicks for Karen.
Yeah, because she's angry that Tiff seems to be messing her around a little bit, going hot and cold.
Yeah.
And
she doesn't know why Bernie keeps taking her back and stuff and accepting it. So, Karen keeps interrupting everyone, like listening to the door, literally listening to Tiff say, your mum just interrupts all the time. And then she comes in and interrupts.
Yeah.
But I do love Karen every week.
Oh, they're great.
She's
They're all
just
the
so
Taylors.
good.
The Taylors have just settled into this square so well.
Thank God for Sean O'Connor.
I know.
Where'd we be without him?
I know.
No Keanu.
Exactly. I mean, all these Sean O'Connor haters, don't forget, he introduced the Taylors.
He killed Ronnie and Roxy. I mean, Mel wouldn't have come back if they were still around, I bet.
Exactly. And we wouldn't have possibly the two new Ahmed sisters.
Yeah, although we don't know if they're good yet, but
we're saying
not?
they're the new Ronnie and Roxy, so
Yeah.
it's supposedly.
So it's funny, isn't it?
I mean, Ted was his biggest mistake of
Not
many. Ted and Joyce.
Not Joyce, because I love Joyce and her
Oh,
bingo. Oh, bingo.
I want £100.
So yeah, it's funny, like, you think, like, all these bad decisions, but those bad decisions would have mean a lot of these things now.
Yeah, the stories
like,
that
the
are happening
Slaters
now
probably wouldn't be there, and Kat and stuff.
Yeah. So.
And it's funny, I saw someone put online, someone posted, like, a sentence saying, the scene of Tiffany and Kat in the Vic talking about Karen, and they said, imagine hearing that sentence, like, a year ago. Like, none of it would have, like, Kat in the Vic,
it
and
wouldn't have
Tiffany
gelled
there and stuff.
because it would have never
So,
have happened. Yeah.
It is interesting to see, bad mistakes, but it leads on to other things that wouldn't have happened otherwise.
I mean, there's always a debate on Twitter about whether John York has done a good enough job to then have it carried down. And I have to say, I personally think he's done the legwork, he's done the foundations, and it's worked
he
nice.
had the toughest job. Like, Kate Oates is going into it with, like, a real strong cast.
Yeah.
A pretty clear direction.
But she
characters.
but she has the smarts and she knows what to do, and she'll do it right.
But, the job that John York had, it's because it was temporary. You can't lay out a 3-year plan
Of course
or story
not.
arc.
Of course.
So, to be fair to him, he's done all right.
This Tiff and Bernie story arc we must finish quickly. We keep going off subject.
Well, it was just really nice. She came out and she told Tiff, because she didn't want Karen to blurt it out to everyone.
Yes, and she says to Tiff that she loves her. Then Tiff starts questioning her own sexuality. Not necessarily that she's gay, but she might be bi, and she might like girls in the same way. And so she goes back to Bernie, and Bernie's really upset because she thinks she's ruined her friendship, and she doesn't want to lose a friend. And she says that she does love her, but she's not sure if she loves her in that way.
Yeah.
And I
but she
thought that was
doesn't
love.
know,
Yeah, she doesn't know. She, learn. She's young. She's going to have experiment and find out. And it's lovely. Bernie accepts this, understands. They hug. There's rainbow cake in the fridge. Let's all enjoy it.
Yeah, it's all good. And it's interesting. It was on the 5-year anniversary of Johnny Carter coming out to Mick.
Right.
And it's funny how completely different these storylines have been written. But yeah, it's nice. Nice scenes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them. Like you say, they kind of stole the week in a funny old way.
So the last storyline is the Slaters, which I said at the beginning of the show. I kind of know what happened, but it's not really registering. It's just Alfie being horrible, more manipulating, Kat then manipulating Alfie. into coming back to the house, but he doesn't bring Cherry with him, even though he should have. The Slaters bombard him. Haley's asleep on pills upstairs.
That's brilliant. I mean, hey, the whole time they're trying to convince Alfie to bring Cherry back and for him to for them to become a family again, and they leave Haley out and they just leave her sleeping on sleeping pills upstairs.
Yeah, but then the next episode she's about and no one else is about, and she catches Tommy and the kids getting ready and dressed to leave because they think they're going to Spain with Alfie.
So Haley gets the wrong end of the stick, goes to the cafe,
chucks coffee on him, which
screams at Alfie, screams at Tommy as well. Tommy! She screams at poor old Tommy, and then after she's like, "I'm sorry, I'm just a bit upset."
I mean, is Alfie Is he delusional? He's off. He says, "Oh, they're going to be better with me. Their home is in Spain, a job, a nice villa, a swimming pool." Is there a job? Is there a villa?
This is the thing.
There anything in Spain?
He built up this fake story where he said, think of it this way: there's a woman, she can barely look after herself, has no job, has no home. Here in London, nothing better. Or they could have a family, a swimming pool, a man with a good job comes home, gives them a good life. And it's like, well, Alfie, you don't actually have this good life.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, a minute ago you were starting up a funeral business where you were starting in the UK. Now you're dressed up like the bloomin' milk tray man, bloomin' sneaking around the square, trying to get your kids to run away to Spain.
It's kind of fallen apart a little bit since Boxing Day, this storyline.
Really has.
It doesn't seem to know where it's going.
I think it's a shame though, because they did it so strong with the Christmas Day story.
Yeah.
And it just...
It's like him falling down the stairs hasn't affected him.
No.
They've not mentioned, I don't know, he's just wearing a hat.
We can't see the injury, can you? Because he's wearing a hat.
It's just weird. It's just fallen apart a little bit, I feel.
There's not even little hints that perhaps the hit in the head has done him any kind of injury. Every now and then he could maybe touch the back of his head and show that, it's still sore.
Yeah.
Just a little thing just to incline that he is not 100% peak himself. Perhaps this is why he's a little bit grouchy.
It's very, very strange.
But it's really strange. And at the moment, we're now working on the theory that Alfie is going to bring the kids back, and Kat's going to look after Tommy, Bert and Ernie, and Haley's going to have Cherry back, and Alfie's just going to go because...
But wasn't the final deal that he was going to take the kids but bring Cherry back, so Kat has sacrificed her kids for Cherry?
No? Originally it was going to be that Kat was going to do that. Kat suggested that, and then Alfie decided, no, actually having thought about it, you should have all the kids because I forget the term he uses now, but he says he ducks and dodges.
Oh yeah, and he's done it before, so he can carry on doing it.
Yeah, so he's always been a bit of a likely lad, so he kind of goes from job to job, and that's best for him, not to have the kids attached to him. So he's better off doing that while Kat looks after.
But Cherry's somewhere, and the story ended on Kat and Haley assuming that tomorrow Alfie's dropping off Cherry, but Kat looked a bit unsure.
Yeah, Haley says, do you trust him? And Kat's like, yeah, all right, yeah, I do, yeah. And she does that brilliant, she's smiling at Haley, and then Haley goes into her arms, and she hugs, and she just kind of goes, ooh. And then Haley looks at her again, and she smiles again.
Yeah. So whether he's just going to take all the kids and double cross all of them, I wouldn't put it past him at the moment.
Do you reckon there's going to be something that used to happen a lot with the Mitchells, like a kind of chase scene?
To the airport.
To the airport.
You haven't had one of them in a while.
No, they haven't. It'd be nice,
have a Julius
actually.
theme, an Alfie Julius theme with all the kids on the aeroplane with him.
On a private jet. And you can see Kathy flying back, and she comes and goes, what's going on here? There you go.
Kathy could stop them. She could be the hero.
Well, no, because she'll be coming from Departures.
I don't care.
Not Departures, Arrivals, yeah, and they'll be going to Departures.
Yeah, but I don't care. This is EastEnders. She could stop them and save the day.
Although that would be a nice touch, if you think about it. If you see this chase scene with Kat, running, Kat and Haley or some of the slates running through the airport, and then next minute you just see Kathy walking with her suitcase out the airport and hailing a taxi. That'd be nice. I'd like that. I'd give you 10 out of 10 for continuity there. I'd forgive you for all the Kathy being missing for what is now almost 2 months.
I mean, hashtag Ask Kate Oates. She didn't mention Kathy. That upset me.
Oh, do you reckon she's dumped? Do you reckon she's gone away forever?
She can't be. I want a big storyline for Kathy 2019.
Well, I quite like the Kathy and Masu story. I still hold to that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Dropped.
Well, yeah, dropped for silly reasons. Because Ian couldn't bear not having his mum at home all day. And then she's gone off. Oh.
Yeah. Right, so we've got poll of the week.
We certainly have.
And also, I've got just a poll. Because why not?
Oh, wait, do you want to do the poll of the week or your poll?
I'll just do mine because it's really quick and we already have the answer. So I just said, bets on who dies tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That was during the Ray, Hunter, Mel.
That was before the killing had taken place.
So it was Hunter, Ray, one of Ray's wives, or Mel. 5% Mel, 18% one of Ray's wives. And joint first place, Hunter and Ray, 38% each.
Oh, so they were joint right.
And then MBI said, Definitely not Hunter or Mel. I've seen pictures of them in future storylines. So that's a bit of a spoiler there.
Oh, thanks for that. Could have put a spoiler alert at the beginning. And then we did, obviously, which we usually always do, a New Year poll of the week, which was, what would Sharon's New Year resolution be? And the options were actually care for her son, find out how to run E20, hire a full-time cleaner, because that's always been her dream. Hire a full-time cleaner. Or employ a personal trainer. And do you know the winner?
No.
Well, the winning choice was care for her son. Actually give a hoot about poor Dennis.
Yes. All acceptable answers.
Well, they all were. Won by 51%. Second was employ a personal trainer. I mean,
she would have got one of them.
Shianu. 30%. Third was find out how E20 is run, and fourth was hire a full-time cleaner at 7%. Just to let you guys know, we're not actually going to run a poll of the week anymore. So anyone,
oh God.
I know, everyone loves them. We are doing something different, and you'll find out what that is just near the end of Friday's episode of EastEnders as it's aired in the UK, and it's on Twitter, which is at EastEnders Week, or Facebook, which you just search EastEnders Weekly Podcast. That's the group and the page. Or our Instagram, which is at EastEnders Weekly Podcast, and that's Instagram stories. Keep an eye out. At the end of Friday's episode, when it's broadcast in the UK, we have a brand new section for the end of the show, which you guys can join in and take part with.
Exciting. I'm quite worried, actually. I've just had my email pop up. You know, I was supplying all the bottled water to E20 in Walford. Well, I've accidentally mixed up with the voodoo bottled water where they bring people back to life.
Oh, Ben, you've done this before.